What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's well. Hope you guys are doing good, making your dreams come true, all that kind of stuff. So, scrolling through the internet, like I know I shouldn't be doing, came across a video that really kind of bothered me. I'm not going to show it. I usually do show it, but I gotta say I disagree with. Gotta say I disagree with this one. I gotta disagree. I think that one of the reasons, one of the reasons that so many men are going their own way, checking out and SYSBM, Save Yourself Black Man, Men Going Their Own Way, Passport Bros, is because, they just deem the juice not to be worth the squeeze. And, this is something that we've talked about before. And I'm gonna think about whether I'm gonna show the video or not. I gotta have a conversation with the person who put it up. But I'm gonna say right now I disagree. I gotta disagree. So if I put it up, I had a conversation with this person and we worked it out.
You every morning. He listens when you talk. He doesn't cheat. He takes you on a date, maybe twice a month. He doesn't lie. And suddenly, you feel like you've won the lottery. But let's break this down for a second. You're rewarding a man for doing the bare minimum. Not because you're naive, but because you're exhausted. Because you're used to being treated worse. Because your bar isn't just on the floor, it's underground. Here's what's really going on. Your brain has been conditioned to normalize emotional malnutrition. It's like starving someone for days, then handing them a cracker and calling it a feast. So when he shows you the smallest act of basic human decency, your body floods with relief and, you call it love. But love isn't relief. And emotional breadcrumbs are not a relationship. What you actually want, what you deserve is consistency, effort, growth, support, admiration. Not a guy who just doesn't lie. Not a guy who simply isn't toxic. That's not the prize. That's the price of entry. Here's the truth. If you settle for the bare minimum, you'll always feel like you're asking for too much. He texts.
But listen, I gotta say I disagree. Okay, here's why I disagree. Here's why I disagree. I gotta do some stuff here in the background. I think the relationships have become so complex and so difficult now that it's really an issue and it's really bad. I think that we are really entering or have entered a time that we are just at odds with one another, and we just don't seem to be able to figure it out. We are really in a bad place. We're really in a bad place. So I want to make the video as if I didn't show it, but if I did, you know what I'm talking about. So the video that I should watch was trying to let ladies know that the bare minimum was unacceptable. I've always had a problem with the bare minimum. I'm quite sure you all who have jobs, if you have yearly or monthly or yearly, monthly, every 6 months evaluations, then you understand how they go. And there's usually a box or checks or whatever that meets the criteria, or and then there's always one for exceeds expectations, meets the expectations, meets the criteria, or exceeds expectations, or something like that. Now, the problem that I have is that the bar, in particular in relationships, is always getting set higher and higher. And I try to make, when I make videos, right, I try to make them so I'm trying to make it so we understand the general population. This could be me, right? So I'm saying, I make videos saying what I think that men want. But this video right here could totally be me. Could totally be me. You let me know in the comment section. It's totally me. I'm a very simple guy. I grew up in church, as you all know if you've been following me, and also try to dabble a little bit in evolutionary psychology. Evolutionary psychology says that we evolved a certain way on the plains of Africa. Then we went to these different, locales across the world, and all that. And all that, through all that time, we were harmoniously working together. Harmoniously working together. The guys were out in the field or off fighting wars or out hunting or fishing or whatever. The women were, doing something alongside them, and many times the lighter work or in the house doing some type of work. So this idea that you didn't have to work at all was just something that happened in the 1940s and 1950s. So don't ever believe, or it was the elite aristocrats who didn't have to work at all, women anyway. So now 2025. I mean, there's so much going on here that we don't even know what. There's so much going on that we're all confused as to what we should be doing. How is it that we go from working alongside with one another to I got to be this person that is this Superman. I got to be Superman, and social media is not making it any better. You know, you get pictures up here. You're getting hit on by guys in L.A. and Atlanta and Tennessee and and Dubai and all this stuff, right? So you're expecting more than what the average guy can give you, and if, that's great if you want to go for somebody who's not average, but I'm going to say this, try to say this as nicely as possible, but what are you offering? What are you offering in return for the greater expectations from the men? There is a video I'm going to show, right? So, from the show Blackish, where, his Dre's initial or the time he tried to do something for his wife, who was spit on, requited, laughed at, and he just felt some type of way, so he never did it again. So
Do what I want. You're not listening. Just like flowers all over again.
What about flowers?
I told you I like flowers, but
Do you want to know why I don't bring flowers? Hey, keep your eyes closed. Open them. Check it out.
Prepare to be swept off your feet.
I'm ready. Voila.
That is hilarious. Mm-hmm. That is hilarious. Oh my God. You went through all these movements so that I could get to one little rose.
I know, huh?
Oh my God, we have the same sense of humor. That is so funny. It was like all this buildup, and I was like, oh my God, this posted. I obviously didn't mean to embarrass you. I thought we were joking. I'm sorry.
I appreciate your apology.
what we're doing is we're almost doing the same thing that happened in that show Blackish, right? Nothing is good enough. So the video that I'm alluding to, the woman is saying that the guy who doesn't cheat on her, texts her every morning, takes her out once, twice a month for dates, is somehow a bare minimum. Somehow it's just meeting expectations. Somehow just barely eking by, right? The speed, right? We have a speed limit, right? 65 in most places. But there's a speed minimum too, if you didn't know that. Depending on where you are, 40, 45. You can't drive beneath on the highway, freeway. You can't drive beneath 45 miles an hour. Otherwise, you're meeting you're doing the bare minimum, and I have a problem with that because where is the ceiling? Just like there's a ceiling that you can't go beneath. Where is the ceiling? It's never a ceiling, and depending on where you work at, your bar, if you get exceeds expectation, you might get a raise or you might get a promotion or whatever. So therefore, there's an incentive to do more. So what is the incentive to do more in a relationship? Again, I could be speaking just for me. Well, okay, I'm gonna buy you roses every single day. I'm gonna meet you every day that you go out to your car. There's gonna be a fresh flower on your car, or there's gonna be once a month there's gonna be a bouquet of roses that comes to you, or something along those lines. I think that mentally we're tricking ourselves into doing something that is probably unsustainable and isn't really necessary. Listen, again, I could be just talking about me. I just want somebody to go to the movies with. I want somebody to go for a walk. Hey, listen, I'm kind of let's go for a walk. Let's go out to eat. We don't feel like cooking. Let's cook together. Let's go to the grocery store, cook together. Let's figure. Hey, there's a new recipe we want to try. I don't understand. I don't understand all this. We are making relationships so complicated. I got to think of new ways to impress you I gotta think of new ways to impress you so you don't get bored and run off with Pookie, Ray Ray, or Steve, right? I don't want to make this about, I hypergamy is a thing, but it's on steroids now, and you're never satisfied, always looking for the newest thing, and how is it not bare minimum, right? Okay, he doesn't cheat, but he's doing what? I just, that just bothered, that whole bare minimum talk just bothers me. I mean, we set something up in our brain because we see it on social media, because we see it in somebody else's relationship and think that we got to get that. This person gets a rose every single day. I want a rose every single day. This is why and I know a lot of guys have a problem with all these celebrations, right? Yeah, I mean, we take you out for your birthday. We, get you a Christmas gift, anniversary, but Valentine's Day. Why does somebody got to tell me that I got to celebrate you or whatever? And if you don't get it, it's a problem. It's an issue, and then now I'm upset. And listen, I could be talking about just about me, but I do know guys who hate Valentine's, who hate Valentine's Day. Not because we don't want to celebrate our women, but because we don't want anybody else telling us how to celebrate them. And this is exactly what this video, if I played it, you've seen it, is telling me how I ought to celebrate you. And the problem is if I start doing these things, what are you going to do to reciprocate? And yes, all relationships are transactional. And forget this nonsense about you ought to just do it just for me and just do it because you love me. Because nobody operates like that. Nobody operates like that. And the moment I start doing it, right, this is why we're telling guys to stop leading with their wallets, stop leading with all this other stuff. Because once you set the bar there, then you'll always have to do it. Your first initial date with some 4 or 5 star restaurant. Now you got to keep that up for the rest of the relationship. Don't start there. Listen, I could just be a simple guy, and these relationships are just too complicated. The relationships are now just too complicated, and they just don't seem to be worth the squeeze. They just don't seem to be worth the squeeze. So guys are saying, I'm gonna go to another country where these women don't have these crazy, unrealistic expectations. Not about my physical presentation, how much money I got to make, but I don't got to do all this gift giving and all this kind of stuff, right? If the video said that I'm definitely gonna reach out to her. If you do these things, right, I need companionship, I need love and loyalty, whatever it said, and affirmations. Listen, you're not looking for a boyfriend or a husband. You're looking for a coach. What you need is a life coach. What you need is a life coach. What you need is a cheerleader. You need a therapist. This is what you need. This is what you need. And I'm none of those things. I just want somebody to go to movies with. I want somebody who hey, there's a new season of House of the Dragon on. Let's sit down here and let's binge watch it. That's all I'm looking for. Just give me the simple life. We go out once a week, go to a restaurant. You don't got to cook. I don't got to cook. Neither one of us. Listen. My kids are raised. I don't need all this complexity. I don't need all this complexity. And all that you're doing is making a simple situation that shouldn't be as tough because of the way we grew up. And I'm talking about humanity. The human race grew up. The way we grew together. You had a role to play. I had a role to play. But now, because the lines are all blurred, now I got to do extra stuff in order to fill in for this. Because you're so you need affirmations all the time because your job and because you didn't get enough love as a kid and because your ex didn't do enough, you didn't get enough hugs. Now I gotta do all that. Listen, you got to get whole. And what happened to enter into a relationship as a whole human being? What happened to not entering into a new relationship until you get the therapy and the help and the coaching that you need? Why do I need to be the one who's constantly being your cheerleader, your rah-rah person? And I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. If you get a promotion or that's something that's going on that's big for you, then yes, let's celebrate that. Well, I'll take you out to dinner. And this is great. You got this promotion. You started your business, taking off man, I'm glad you are my woman. I'm glad. Let's celebrate that. Absolutely, 100%. But I can't, send you a good morning text, good morning, beautiful, this, that, and the other. I hope you have a great, fantastic day. It may be raining on the outside, but I know the sun is shining inside your soul or whatever. Saying something like that is weak and corny. And this is why guys are saying, I'm going someplace else. I'm going to another country, or I'm just checking out all completely, because I don't know what we don't know what to expect, what to do, right? And I got to be, because you've been hurt and dogged in other places and you didn't get the healing. Now I got to come in here and fill in these gaps and be the maintenance man and all this kind of stuff, right? And do all these different things, And what do I get for that? What do I get for that? What do I get for that? I gotta lose sleep. I gotta think of new ways to be impressive. I just wanna. It used to be called settling down. It used to be called settling down. Man, we don't gotta do all this anymore. I don't gotta do all this anymore. But now you gotta do more. It's 2025. I want more. Being tall, handsome, good job. A man years ago, 50, 60 years ago, had a job. Shoot, could probably read, eighth grade education, high school education. Yeah, was it. Now these dudes, now you can have all that and you're still not good. I don't know if I can ever find it again. There's this woman who was saying, and I always mean to save these. There's a woman who's saying, just being a good dude isn't good enough. There was a video of this woman saying, being a good dude isn't good enough. If I can find it, I'll definitely put it on here.
Sometimes a woman can talk her out of a relationship. You can talk. We do that.
Yes,
we will talk.
I'm gonna say something, and this might ruffle little feathers. I don't think just being a good man is enough to stay in a relationship with them.
But when I say a good man, I mean like he's good. That means all around. That means himself, spiritually, mentally, physically.
That's great.
Healthily, like he's a good man.
That doesn't mean that he's the man for you. And
right.
Maybe when you're going through these motions of getting to know him, you're realizing, okay, he's a great person, but honestly, I don't fuck with his humor. Like, he could be funny, but he's not funny to me.
And that's why a lot of modern women are getting 40 with 4 cats and no man, because he's a good man, but because he's not funny, you gotta throw that out.
You were making relationships far too complex for the emotional. This is why guys are checking out, because the emotional labor, and this is a term that's very new to me, but it's absolutely true. I gotta regulate your emotions. I gotta tread around in emotions. I gotta be affirming all the time. Come on, you need a life coach. And maybe this is just me saying, listen, it's just not for me. I just want somebody to have a meal with. I just want somebody who is emotionally stable, who's got something going on for herself, and loves herself, loves her children, loves me, and without all this craziness, without all this extra. I'm sorry that somebody else emotionally starved you. I'm sorry that somebody emotionally starved you, hurt you, or neglected you. But me bringing you flowers or a rose or good morning text messages to cheer you up and make sure your day starts off well. Man, it's real. It's what have we done? We talk about this. This is exactly the reason why men are like, nah, F this. I'm gonna play video games all day. Because after I've done all this complex emotional regulation, emotional labor, I still might not get any cookies that night. I still might not get a meal, and whatever else. Guys really are kind of simple. We don't really want that much, but I got to do all this massaging to get you to. Men today have to do more to get a woman of lesser quality. Not all women are lesser. People push back against that. I'm not saying that every single woman in America is less, but man, think about what you think. It just floors me. That just bothered me. It just bothered me. It's absolutely bothered me. Absolutely, a good dude just isn't good enough. Good morning text messages, not cheating. Listens to you when you speak. Understands, where you're coming from. If you want him to just listen, he's going to do that. If you want him to help you with advice, he's going to do that. And that's not good enough anymore. That's not good enough anymore. Now this is where the cash happens to cash out me some money, get my hair and nails done. This is the exceeding expectations. Why don't I just go somewhere else? Where somebody is more appreciative of the life that I can give her. Or just and I'm not saying me, I'm saying anybody. I get why guys are just like, nah, F this, man. This emotional stuff it's tiring, and it's tiring, it's exhausting, and it's never ending. And if guys don't say enough is enough, it'll keep going on. There's a balloon pop show. I don't know if I'll be able to find this one either. When a woman said, if I got a flat tire, would you come and fix it? Or the second choice, would you buy me a new car? For a flat tire?
If I had a flat tire, would you A, help me fix it, like come out, help me fix it, B, buy me a new car, or C, call someone else and ask them, call someone else to come and fix it?
I know how to fix a tire in a car. I know how to fix a lot of different things. So, I would go out there and, check to see if you got a spare in your trunk. If you don't, then I'll go buy a tire and then I'll change it myself. That doesn't call for buying you a whole new car. If you want a whole new car, just say that. You know what I mean? Then we can work on that. We get that going. But yeah, I could just change a flat tire.
Women are on these balloon pop shows canceling dudes because they don't like how they dress. This guy, he's showing too much ankles. There was a time when women was like, I take this dude, how he's dressing, I'm dressing like the way I want him to dress. That was a thing. Y'all have made this too complex. It's too complex. You take, not that I want to get all religious and spiritual, but you take the Proverbs 31 woman. This woman is out working all day. She's out working all day, making moves in the market and etc. Read Proverbs 31, all the stuff she was doing, right? Making moves, making things happen. She didn't need to be on the phone texting her husband all day. This man had to be doing whatever's all day. Checking in, this, that, emotionals, this, that. This reeks of mommy issues. It reeks of daddy issues. It reeks of past traumas that you're not healed from. It reeks of just childhood neglect, emotional neglect and abuse. And if you need all that, if you walk into the next relationship saying, I need all that, then you haven't healed from your previous relationship. You have not gotten over the past relationship. You have not dealt with that. And you're probably, I can only speak for me, but it's just too much. What are you asking for? You're asking for too much. You're asking for too much. You're asking for too much. And offering the same thing that the 1940s woman was offering. And probably even less. Home cooked meals. I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Y'all let me know, because listen. I'm totally admitting I could be completely off with this. I'm admitting that I could be completely off, but I just think that unless men put their foot down and say enough is enough. You guys want us to cash app. We got to pay you for your time. You got to for your dates. We gotta I'm taking you out, and you're going to be picky and choosy about the place we're going to, and but meanwhile you got buddy over here, you got some buddy over here who you know cheek clapper, the maintenance man, the plumber. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? This is why I'm so repulsed when I hear a woman say, "I got a friend with benefits," or "I got a plumber." You haven't seen my other videos about that. I got a plumber. I got this guy. I got you got a TV hanger. The car guy changes your car oil. The guy who's paying your light bill. All these different dudes, but I got to do all this emotional labor. The boyfriend, the one who wants to wife you up, I got to do all this labor. But these other dudes, you got all these dudes paying this stuff, and one of these dudes in this roster you have is just getting the sex for free. I got to do all the emotional labor. And what is the end of the emotional labor? There isn't one. I think that's what really bothered me. What is the end? The video never said what the end of the video of the emotional labor is. What is the end? What is the end result? Where's the final? Is it ever gonna? No, it's always more. It's always more. No, 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 no. It's that if that's the way the relationship is gonna be, then it's definitely time to say no. No, it's not worth it. I'm not draining my bank account. I'm not draining myself emotionally. I'm not gonna sit awake all night, listen to you cry. I'm not doing all that all the time because you have something going on here. You got to figure out. You need a life coach. You need a therapist. You need your girls. You need you know a job to pay to buy you the things you want. Okay, get to do. I can't in all good conscience tell any man to sign up for any of this foolishness. I can't. It's absolute foolishness. Absolutely foolishness. So, man, I ranted enough here. I'm willing to hear an opinion here, but I just think that we've gone too far. Life relationships, I should say. Relationships seem to be, of course, I wasn't there, seem to be much simpler as far as working together. Everybody understood their role in the past, thousand years ago, whatever. I'm sure life was harsh, but working together to make this thing happen. Here's my role. Here's what you're gonna do. Okay, but now because the lines are all blurred, we got to figure this thing out. And if it's constant. I'm just dissatisfied. I'm just unhappy, and I need somebody who's going to meet this emotional affirmation and gonna push me forward. You need a cheerleader. That's what you need. And the good morning texts aren't that. the good morning. This is what I'm saying. The good morning text, baby, you can do it today. I see you. I know you got this job interview. You got this promotional interview. You got this sales marketing thing. You got all this coming up. And my good morning text is trying to get you to gear up for that isn't good enough. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions.